What's up, guys? Triforce Ultimate Master 2000 here, and I know you're thinking, it's late. Why are you making a YouTube video right now if it's late? Well, that was my decision, and basically, if I wanted to make a video right now, even though it's late, I have the right to. But since I was bored and I had nothing to do, I was all like, oh man, what should I do to unboard myself? And I thought, why not do a YouTube video? And I was like, okay, if I'm going to do a video, what kind of video should I do? So I thought, okay, why not do a Game Quicke video? And it's been a while since I last did my first Game Quicke, and that was basically The Adventure of Link that I did, Zelda 2. And to be honest, that is personally my favorite video on my YouTube channel. Like, if anyone would ask me, what's the best video that you've done on your YouTube channel, I have to say, probably it'd be the Game Quicke video that I did for Zelda 2. Definitely, that'd be my favorite one. So I thought doing something similar for this, and especially since now that I have the SNES Classic, I thought, okay, it would be a special occasion to do Game Quicke for the SNES Classic, and I thought, okay, which game should I do? Alright, let's go with one of my favorites. Yep, F-Zero. One of, if not the best racing games that I have played on any Nintendo console ever. F-Zero, the original one, obviously. One of the best racing games, and one of the best SNES games ever made. This came out back in 1990, and it was a launch title for the Super Famicom. If you guys don't know what the Super Famicom is, the Super Famicom is basically the Japanese Super Nintendo. Same thing with the Super Famicom. F-Zero was a launch title for the Super Nintendo. F-Zero would become a launch title along with Super Mario World for both the Super Famicom and Super Nintendo Entertainment System, respectively. But enough questions, let's get right into it. And I'm going with Blue Falcon. Alright. Obviously, we're going to start off with one of the most iconic tracks in the series, and that is, of course, Mute City. Personally, for me, who would ever thought that this would become one of the most addictive racing games of all time? Especially one of the best franchises in Nintendo history. I really love the F-Zero franchise. It's one of my favorite Nintendo franchises of all time, and we all know that the franchise has been in a long hiatus for a long time, but that doesn't mean that the franchise isn't as fun as it used to be. I think it still is, even if the series has been in a long hiatus. Whether you're playing F-Zero on the Super Nintendo, F-Zero X on the N64, F-Zero GX on the GameCube, or F-Zero Maximum Velocity on Game Boy Advance, or GP Legend, any F-Zero game is obviously still fun in its perspective, and still to this day, it's still, to me, I mean, I don't think like the first one hasn't aged well as the other ones did, but I think still, to me, I think it's still fun and an addictive racing game. If anyone would ask me, what is my favorite Super Nintendo racing game? I mean, I love both F-Zero and Super Mario Kart, but if I had to choose one, it'd probably be F-Zero, because I find F-Zero to be more addictive and more rather fun. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Super Mario Kart, I definitely love it, but I think F-Zero to me is like the racing game that catches my attention, I guess because it's just so high-paced, and it really just drives my mind so freaking crazy when I play this. Alright. So far so good, everything is looking pretty good here. Yeah, the final lap. So my first experience with F-Zero has to be when, I mean, it wasn't this game, because I didn't play this one until until like I was 7. Until when I was 7, that's when I played this one. But I remember when I had my N64, I can remember that one of the first games I remember renting was a racing game called F-Zero X. And to me, it was different because the first racing game that I owned was Mario Kart 64. But definitely the difference between that and Mario Kart was that F-Zero X was more like action-paced, and it was more of a driven, like a more driven type of speed racing game that I've never seen before. And it felt different than any other arcade racing game that I've seen, which was awesome. And definitely after I played F-Zero X, I would go on to play this one, and which I think this one to me is a little more better than F-Zero X. In my opinion, I mean, I know F-Zero X is still amazing, but to me, this one I think is the best game in the franchise. In my opinion, I know people still prefer, X or GX, but after all, I think this is like the better game in the franchise. Obviously, and we already know that this is the one that started the franchise. But yeah, I love the F-Zero franchise. It's one of my favorite Nintendo franchises of all time, and Nintendo, if you're listening to this, I hope one day, when you are about to reboot the franchise, and I know you will, please make it on the Switch. Now, there were plans on making an F-Zero game on the Wii U. Shigeru Miyamoto, one of the creators of F-Zero, stated in an interview that the F-Zero franchise is not dead, but that it's going to reboot. And so he did state that there is a future for the franchise, and that during the Wii U's life cycle, they try to implicate something new for the franchise. Like, they try to find a better control for the gamepad. And I thought the gamepad would have been something unique for an F-Zero game, so it would have been good to see an F-Zero game on the Wii U. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that, obviously. And I don't think it would have been fair to make an F-Zero game on the Wii as well, because, okay, on the Wii U it would have been alright, but on the Wii, because the motion controls probably wouldn't be good for a game like F-Zero. I know you're going to say, well, what about Mario Kart Wii? Doesn't that game have motion controls, and doesn't it feel good? And I'm like, yeah, the motion controls are good for Mario Kart Wii, but for a game like F-Zero, since it's more fast-paced than Mario Kart Wii, I would say no. That would be more like, it'd be hard to implicate motion controls for a fast-paced game like F-Zero on the Wii. But I would have loved to see one on the DS, but we didn't get one, obviously. But still, I enjoy all the games in the franchise. There were some canceled F-Zero games that were never released outside of the US. For the Super Famicom, there was an add-on called Satellaview, where basically you can actually play online, whether it's demos, original new content like games, news, anything. And two games that I like on the Satellaview were BS Legend of Zelda, which was basically a 16-bit remake of the original Legend of Zelda on the NES, and it had basically graphics of A Link to the Past, and it looks phenomenal. You guys want to check that out? I'll put a link in the description below to check that video out, because it's a really great 16-bit remake of the original Legend of Zelda. And the Satellaview had a sequel to F-Zero. Originally, the sequel would have been released in the United States, though it's unknown why it was never released, so it was scrapped. But the sequel was released on the Satellaview, and the sequel looks still the same as this, kind of a little bit, but there are new tracks, new cars to choose, and pretty much it's very much the same, but it definitely looks different from the first game. But it's definitely awesome, though. It's called BS F-Zero Championships, I think. I'm not sure. I need to go back and look at it, but if you guys want to check the BS F-Zero game, I'll put a link in the description below. If you guys want to check both the Legend of Zelda and F-Zero game, definitely. Because definitely, I love this Satellaview. It's one of my favorite Nintendo add-ons, along with the Famicom Disk System. So yeah. I mean, it kind of sucks that we didn't get the Satellaview in the United States, but definitely still was worth to see some awesome piece of gaming history and Nintendo history. So far, so good. Usually I don't drift in this game, but I'm only drifting rarely. Usually in F-Zero, you don't really have to drift. You just really have to just race. Like, drifting is not really more important in this game, which is kind of interesting. When I look both at F-Zero and Super Mario Kart was more about drifting, believe me. Like, I'm not kidding you. Super Mario Kart was more about drifting. This game was more about just being a racing game. But I appreciate both games, and I love both games. So, there's nothing wrong with that. Crap. Ah, damn it. Got hit by one of those fake cars. Freaking hate those. Anytime, like, they come in your way, it's like a distraction, and I freaking hate that. That's the only thing I used to hate about this game. But if they wanted this game to be difficult as it is, because I know that developers for the original F-Zero, they wanted this game to be super difficult. Believe me. I'm not kidding you. And I guess that's why they added these fake-ass cars. Get in their way. Ah, damn it! Oh, crap. I'm messing up right here. Ah, seriously, get out of my way! Wild goose, damn it. Ah, damn it. Whatever. Second place isn't really that bad. Deathwind 1. This one has to be one of the most hardest tracks in F-Zero. Both Deathwind 1 and 2, which are actually one of the most hardest tracks. In my opinion, I think Deathwind 2 is the most hardest one. But if you want to know what's the hardest track in F-Zero, it has to be White Land 2. Believe me, if you've played the original F-Zero on the SNES, you know what I'm talking about. White Land 2 is the most hardest track in F-Zero history. Really. And if you don't know why, just play F-Zero, guys, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Play the Queen League, and you'll know. Let's see. Awesome! Whoa. 3 laps left. Okay, I messed up on this. Ah, damn it! I messed up on that because I gotta go faster. Okay, there you go. Fake ass car, get out of my way. So far, go. Ah, damn it! I messed up there. Okay, final lap. Ah, seriously, please get out of my way. So far, so good. not. Seriously? Please get out of my way. Oh, you did alright. Alright. The last track, Silence. Usually this... Ah, damn, I messed up. Usually I would go this side of the track because it's a more faster route. Whoa! Crap. Well, I messed up again on that because I forgot to do the long jump. Crap. I guess I'm gonna have to take the other route now that I pass that side. Well, thanks for curbing me. A pleasure. So far, so good. Oh! Oh, crap! Alright. Looking fine. Fresh fine. Woo! Ah. Okay. I guess I'll go here. I don't like going to this side because it really... Yeah, it's a bothersome. Okay. Yeah, I knew that was going to happen. Big ass car, get out of my... Oh, Jesus Christ, man. Now the wild goose is here. Yeah, the final lap! Oh, thank God, I saved myself from that. Ah, oh, what the hell? Ah, oh, Jesus Christ. Sorry if I said that, because that was a little offensive, but I didn't mean to say it on camera, but whatever. We all say mistakes. Please don't take down my video YouTube. I'm sorry. I didn't meant to say that. I know that was a little offensive of me, but whatever. All right. Well, this game Quicke didn't go that bad. I enjoyed it. I mean, I did all right. I did get first place on 3 tracks. Not that bad. I enjoyed it. I mean, especially doing Game Quicke on the SNES Classic. Especially doing one of my favorite games on the SNES. It's definitely awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, what more can you expect? But I'm glad that I did another of these because I really would love to do more Game Quickies. I really think Game Quickies should... I think I should do more of these from time to time. You know, whenever I have the time to do it, because you know, for me, usually it's hard for me to concentrate on my YouTube channel a lot. But whenever I have time, of course, I'd love to do more of these. This is something I would love to do time to time for my channel. Whenever I have time, of course. All right, guys. Well, that wraps it up for Game Quicke 2. I hope you enjoyed the newest Game Quicke video. If you guys want to see more, let me know. Put something in the comments, and I'm sorry for what I said. I know, and please, you two, don't take my video down. What I said, I know, it was accident. Stuff happens, you know? I mean, we all say what we don't want to say, but, you know. Okay. Anyway, if you enjoyed this weird Game Quicke, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see more, please comment down below what other stuff you want to see. If you guys want to see more SNES classic content, please let me know. I'd love to do more because I really would love to do a lot of SNES classic game quickies. So yeah, definitely. All right, that wraps it up. So thank you so much for watching this video, and if you guys are interested in seeing the Super Nintendo Classic Edition unboxing, I will put a link to that, or actually you'll see it in the annotations at the screen. So definitely, yeah, if you guys want to see the unboxing, definitely will put that up in the description below or the annotations. And if you guys are for seeing more Nintendo content, I did more Super Mario Land Remix 10 gameplays, so if you want to see those, I'll put those up too. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me in the next game, on this game quickie, but you'll see me in the next one. Alright, bye.